discretion is advised.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the New to Wrestling podcast. This week, we watched the July 7th, 1997 edition of Raw is War, and the match card is as follows. In our opener, we had Taka Michinoku taking on the Great Suzuki in a rematch from our pay-per-view episode. In our second match, we have Crush taking on Savio Vega. The Hart Foundation takes on the Nation of Domination in a tag team tournament final. Hunter Hearst Helmsley takes on Stone Cold Steve Austin. Brian Christopher takes on Eric Shelley in a light heavyweight division match. And in our main event, we have Bret Hart taking on Goldust. Hello.
Hi.
Welcome, everybody. For those of you who are new here, this is Kelsey. She is the new and new to wrestling. I am Xavier. I am not so new.
Hag.
Welcome. Honestly, in terms of wrestling,
It just
you're
came
not wrong.
right out.
It's okay.
You're like, I'm old. And I was like, hag.
Listen, if Jerry can say all of the things that Jerry said during this episode, then I can wear the hag.
I can wear that. Jerry was so Jerry
out of pocket today.
It was crazy.
Yeah,
I don't even know
really
where.
Should have put up the bumpers on that one because he was bowling all over the place.
Someone should have cut the mic. Cut the mic.
It was insane.
Real bad.
So this is the fallout of the Canadian Stampede pay-per-view that we just watched, and we are still in Canada, so we are still living that Hart Foundation is the heroes that we've all been waiting for, needing, like yearning for. Apparently, if you're from Canada.
If you're from Canada.
It's like an asterisk. Just
an asterisk. Yeah.
If you're from Canada.
Yeah. Wait, this is what I wanted to talk about, actually.
Oh, yeah, go for it.
I texted Xavier earlier today, and I was like, hey, by the way, can I bring up something? I've had some thoughts about Bret Hart that have really been on my spirit, and I really feel like I need to share them, and I don't know if you'll agree or disagree, or if anyone else will agree or disagree, or I could be dead wrong. I'm new to wrestling. I don't know. But I've been marinating a lot on Bret Hart's heel change, just Bret Hart generally, because, oh my God, so today is what, the 9th, September 9th, Monday Night Raw is happening tonight, and Bret Hart is returning to the WWE tonight.
Right.
Crazy. And I've been on a social media break recently, but I will be relapsing tonight to see the clips because I must.
Right. No, I agree.
But so I've been thinking a lot about Bret Hart, and the Void, pondering the orb, whatever. And I was like, agree or disagree?
The orb is crazy. Sorry.
If you know, you know.
Right.
But I've been thinking about Bret Hart's heel change, and I don't know how this will land, but I personally feel, because I was thinking about how he turned into a heel, how he got there, because he was like getting beaten down by like the quote unquote establishment. Like they weren't backing him. And originally he was like going for Vince. He was going for Gorilla Monsoon. He was going for like the upper echelon of WWE.
Correct.
And then somehow it veered into Canada versus America.
Yes.
And I'm like, were they losing Canadian viewership? Were they
No, I think it was they realized that he was still like, no matter what they did as far as like making him a heel, like he was never going to be a heel in Canada. It was never going to happen.
And
so
that's fine, because I'm thinking of it like this. Like that makes sense to me.
Right.
Like Stone Cold is hated everywhere and nowhere. Like he does the most heinous BS and he's still loved, but he's still a heel in nature.
Yeah.
And so I kind of wish, hear me out. I kind of wish that Bret Hart had been more of like the fallen angel, like Lucifer-esque figure. I'm not saying like Lucifer. I'm just saying that fallen angel where it's like sometimes the devil makes sense. Like because sometimes he said, literally tonight, he was like saying stuff and we were like, yeah, true. Like he was like slandering America and we were like,
No, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I kind of feel like they went more for the angle where like Bret Hart, who was the man of WWE, he was the guy, now is a heel in terms of like working to take down the organization from within. Like the fallen angel kind of figure. And he still could have like looped in Canada and whatever
Right,
as like a
right.
side quest,
No, but it really
fine.
became like the focal point. Like it
And
really
I hate
became.
that actually.
Mhm.
I think it's kind of, I don't want to say silly because I'm not trying to say like countries feuding is silly. Like, but I feel like
No,
it
it
could have
just
been so much cooler.
right. I
Like
agree. I
him,
feel like
like,
it's just like there's only so much you can do there. There's only
with
like so much like America or like Canada you can like get away with saying on national television. But you know what I mean? Like
yes, you
I feel like
can,
it's a very limiting like kind of scenario.
yeah, you can only exalt one and tear down another for so long, but like almost like if he had made it like his mission to like get to the bottom of like who is like the person behind like the
Like
WWE,
keeping him
like
down. Yeah.
yes, and like appearing in the rafters, appearing at WWE headquarters. Like I don't know, just like more of that like
Mm-hmm.
I was the golden child of WWE and you burned me one too many times and
Right.
now I'm going to take you down and nobody knows this organization better than me. Like
Right.
I just feel like that angle makes me want to like I just like that better and
Mm-hmm.
I thought that's the direction it was going in
Mm-mm.
and it didn't.
No.
And it kind of makes me sad cuz I just feel like Bret Hart as a person is could have done it. Like is interesting enough to me anyway.
Right.
Again, new to wrestling, but could have done it and could have been the person to do it. And like Shawn Michaels could have been like
The
the
new
Archangel
golden
Michael
boy.
in this
Yeah.
situation, like who's
Right.
like fighting for the justice of the like I just feel like there could have been something juicier there and instead it's like we're doing countries feuding, we're doing races feuding, we're
Right.
doing like I don't know. I just
No, I'm with
I
you. I'm
I
with
was
you.
really lost in thought about this the other day, thinking about like how cool it would have been if he had like inverted even like his costume to where it was like black, but the highlights were pink instead.
Right.
Like he could
Right.
have just it could have he still has the glasses, but they're black reflective now. And like
Right.
I could
No.
see it so
Yeah.
clearly, and I thought it would have been much more of like a bigger
No, I'm with
bite
you.
to take.
No, I'm with
More
you.
interesting.
Mm-hmm. I
So
no,
that was my
I
hot take.
I fully agree. And it's because
Wow.
it's just like it's just I don't know. I think we've already exhausted all of the Canada America feud I'm going to be able to like handle. You know what I mean? Like
Yes.
we've done it. We've done the 5-on-5. We did, I don't know. I just from here it's like, okay, I'm tired of that. Like I'm good.
Yeah, 100%. It's easily tiring. And again, like it could have been a little like side
Right.
quest. Like it could have because that's still part of his character. Because he
Mm-hmm.
could have gone even like more like this is an American business and this is how American businesses are run and I'm trying to take it or like
Right.
figure it out or
Mm-hmm.
unlock the secrets or like I don't know, it still could have been we still could have looped Canada in
Right.
somehow. It didn't have to be the whole entree though.
Yeah. No,
An
I agree.
interesting side, poutine, but it
Right.
didn't, it didn't have to be
No, it did not have to be the whole meal.
the
No.
whole meal. So that's my let me everyone else let me know your thoughts about this because I'm telling you it's infiltrated my brain and I was like driving just in silence the other night just
No,
like
and like because like and like recently, like since his heel turn, it always just feels like if I don't get my way, meh, like I'm just gonna leave. Like
if I don't get my way then America smells.
right. It
Okay.
feels very that. And it just
Yes.
feels like every time he's like going up for something like a bigger match, it's like if I don't win, then like the fix is in. And you're like, okay. Um, but I don't
It
know.
feels
I'm
like a
just
dumb reason for a person to be a heel.
right.
Because we check the tapes. I was like, I am right there with him when he was getting, the shit end of the stick time and time again. I was like, I understand why he's mad. I understand why he feels this way. I understand why he became a heel because he
Mm-hmm.
just like could not catch a break. Oh,
Right.
and it was always a loophole in the rules and whatever. And now I'm tangenting, but I just feel like that had depth, it had range, it had all
Right.
kinds of directions it could have gone and you still could have looped in the family, you still could have looped in I don't know. I just was like
Right.
this feels like a stupid reason to be such a heel or
Right.
whatever.
To be like essentially the company's main heel.
Yeah, and like that's just cuz you hail from Canada.
Yeah, and I wonder if part of
Okay.
that is like because part of it is like Stone Cold is such an anomaly that like
Yes.
he should have been the
In the
heel,
main
been the
heel.
main heel
Yes, yes,
during this
yes.
time, and it just got turned on its head. And I think
Yes.
because the trajectory of Stone Cold when they had their match, the only way to make it work was the double turn. Like was like
Yeah, that's very
Austin going
true.
over as like face and Bret going over as like heel. So I just feel like they did it because of like happenstance and like they could have leaned into the more valid reasons for being a heel. Like, you
Yeah,
know what I mean?
a
Like, don't get me
hundred
wrong, like
percent.
talk to anybody in 2024, half of the people in America hate America. So it's like it's not
Mm-mm.
like, it's not like you're gonna be at like a loss finding people to like join your cause if you were to, like if you were to
Swear.
do that today, sure, like I'm sure that might fly. Like the Canada USA thing might have a better chance today.
Yeah, it
But
might have better legs.
right.
For sure.
But yeah, I don't know. It's just like mm, mm. We're just
That's
like,
yeah.
okay, Canada.
And that's my feelings on that.
Yeah, that's that on that.
Yeah,
Speaking
had to, it was on my
of
spirit.
our
Had to say.
Budo, he the show starts off with like a recap of Canadian Stampede. It's in black and white. There's lots of mention of blind patriotism, but like not in terms of like, us in terms of Canada, which I just think is hilarious because that's kind of our bag. That's kind of
That's
our
kind of our
shtick.
gig. Yeah.
Like,
Even it's so dumb. Even the word like patriotism, I was like, can you guys say that?
right, right.
I feel like that's our word. I don't
Yeah,
know. I don't want
no,
it
no,
necessarily. I
that's
don't.
but that's how you know we are American. That we just have usurped the concept of patriotism as our own, as if
And then we're
other
like,
countries don't
ew.
exist,
And then we
right?
hold it and we're like, mm,
Yeah,
I
right.
don't know.
I don't know. Here,
What a
mm,
sin.
so funny.
Mm-mm-mm-mm.
And then the episode starts officially with Bret Hart coming out for an interview with Vince. He's coming out in his Oilers jersey. Love to see it. It is a announced that he is the number one contender for the Undertaker's WWF Championship, and they will go one-on-one at SummerSlam. So we're getting like a quick fallout of Canadian Stampede into the build for SummerSlam because
Mm-hmm.
SummerSlam is less than a month away.
Which is,
Um,
how did we already get here?
right. Love to see it. Love to
How did
see
we
it.
already get here?
Mm-hmm. Um, so love to see that. Well, I'm looking forward to that match and where that's gonna go because there are two very different stories happening between those two characters right now.
Yeah,
Um,
you can say that
so
again.
he panders to the Canadian fans. He thanks them for
Mm.
letting them or letting me be your hero. And then he made a reference to a comment that Shawn Michaels had made where he's like, USA, like, love it or leave it. And then he's like, I love leaving it. And you're like, got it. Thanks, Brett.
Mm. Good play
I
on
was I
words.
was like, I see what you did there. I see what you did there.
Yeah.
Um, and then he like actually like himself mentions he's like, it's not so much that I'm like anti-American, it's just that I'm really pro-Canada. And you're like, all right. And then he goes off and like rattles off a bunch of things of why like Canada is better. And he's like, healthcare, gun control. And I'm like, that is so sad that that is still true.
Still,
And then he
still
goes out on a
true.
limb and he's like, and like racism, we don't have it here, basically. And we were like, oh,
And then Xavier and I, because at first we are like, mm-hmm. And then we are like, oh, wait a minute.
wait. I was like, I don't
Wait
know
a
about
minute.
all that. So he basically he's like, I will not let my fans down. I will be the 5-time like WWF champion. And then he goes an extra step as he does, to say that if he loses, he will never wrestle on American soil again. And it's just like, been there, done that, heard it before. This was
Mm,
supposed to be the stipulation of the Shawn Michaels
mm-hmm.
match that you were having, the little 10-minute like
If
ex
I don't beat you in 10 minutes.
exhibition. Yeah, like
Yeah.
that was supposed to be the stipulation of that. We're just copy pasting.
Mm-hmm.
Because you two couldn't keep your hands off of each other long enough to be coworkers in the back. So you got into a fist fight. You ripped out
Mm-hmm.
a bunch of Shawn Michaels' hair and he quit. So this entire time behind the scenes, like these couple weeks episodes, they're trying to get Shawn Michaels to come back to work,
Wait a
essentially.
minute.
Yes.
I
His
did not know this.
pre-injury is not real. He quit. Due to unsafe working
He
conditions because of Bret Hart.
Oh, you did say this. I didn't know, but the hair was ripped out. I didn't know it
Yeah,
was
yeah,
like
yeah.
girl on girl crime.
Apparently when he comes back, he wears a hat a lot.
And
And shout out to my
he
sister
is
for doing the research on that and then giving it to me because
Brittany again.
no, really, really, really coming through.
Amen, Brittany.
Um, she was like, I was curious and I wanted to know, and I was like, you know what, you are a better journalist than I.
I love you,
So
Brittany. Thanks for that. Because that is crucial information because I respect him being like, okay, no,
right.
I quit. That's
Mhm.
disgusting. And also, I will say this, I know you guys hate it, I will, but I know he's the Cancer Leo cusp, and if you ever touched my hair, I would leave the country. If you pulled my hair out and I had to wear a hat weeks after the incident, so you know it was bad, you're never
Yeah,
hearing from me again, except for my attorney.
heard. Heard.
Absolutely.
Love to
You're
see it.
crazy for that.
Yeah, no, insane. So Brett brings out Owen Hart because Owen was the perpetrator of the pinfall.
Ooh,
I know, I like
the
had to get it before
alliteration.
I fumbled.
Thank God.
That put away Stone Cold Steve Austin's Team America, whatever you want to call it. Um, winning the 5-on-5 match at Canadian Stampede, and it is also announced that Owen will be taking on Stone Cold Steve Austin at SummerSlam for the Intercontinental Championship. So love to see it. And
Love
then
to
it is
see it.
also announced pretty much in the same breath that the British Bulldog will be taking on Ken Shamrock for the European Championship. So
Yes. Let's
love to
put
see.
these belts on the line.
Let's
Like, what
go.
are
About
we
time.
doing? I am bored. I'm not bored, but like, put
No, I'm
the
with it.
belts on the line. What are we doing? I know
Right.
that you guys look so cute in the gold and respectfully, but like, hello?
Right. Right.
Thank God. I literally was like, thank God, give me something.
So it is Brett, Owen, and the Bulldog just chilling in the ring, and Brett basically tells everyone to look at the screen and listen to this. And then the Canadian national anthem starts playing again. I say again because we had to watch it during the pay-per-view also. Not
But
had to. It was a good performance, that
I was
one.
gonna say it was not
This one
n-
was just like
the
just like a
keyboard
YouTube version, like Canadian national anthem play, and you were just like,
over like pictures of the flag waving like
yeah, yeah.
flowing over each other. It was no, I don't remember their names, but
Um,
amen. Oh, wait, do I
something's
have it
daughter,
here?
farmer's daughter.
Farmer's Daughter. Where is it? Yes,
Yeah,
Farmer's Daughters, eight.
yeah. They fully ate.
Eight.
It was no farmer's daughter. Let's put it
It
that
wasn't, it was not.
way. It doesn't really matter
Honestly, they
because
ate so
they
hard.
ate. No, they fully didn't leave a crumb. And so they're all staring at the screen, paying their respects to their national anthem when Stone Cold comes in with a steel chair and just starts swinging for the fences. Love to see it.
Mm-hmm.
Love to see it. I'm sorry, but you don't get to just subject everybody to the national anthem every time you feel like it. Like
I
I'm sorry.
swear.
You don't I'm
I would never do that.
right. I mean, don't get me wrong, like the Star Spangled
Star Spangled
Banner,
Banner.
the Star Spangled Banger, new anthem
No
just
anthem.
dropped. The Star Spangled Banger.
I
Uh,
wish.
I love it. Anyway, I don't even know where I was going with that. Doesn't matter. I'm just gonna leave it on that.
Mm.
So after that whole situation, they like cut to commercial break, and apparently Bret Hart grabs the mic during the commercial break and was like, "You will not walk all over Canada," and you're like, "Okay, if you say so."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, and that leads us into our first match. So this one is a rematch from the pay-per-view, and it is a light heavyweight division match. So it's Taka Michinoku taking on the Great Suzuki. Only this time, we couldn't just be treated to like a fantastic athletic contest. No, 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 no. The WWF said, you know what this needs now? If we're gonna watch the same match, it needs Brian Christopher.
And I hate that they did this.
I hate that they did
I
this.
hate that I had to see this.
It was horrible. First of all, still trying to make us all believe he's too sexy.
Okay, and I'm so sorry, and this is gonna be mean, and I'm gonna take the consequences. Where?
Right.
Because there are good listen, we are drooling, picking our jaws up off the floor over wrestlers every week, and you all know this.
Mm-hmm.
Not him.
No.
Too
No.
sexy where? First of all, no such thing.
Right.
Maybe can I find an ounce of sexy anywhere would be more
Right.
appropriate.
I know. Do you think that'll fit on the tights?
No, but that means he can go home.
Ugh, amen. So Brian Christopher comes out and joins us on commentary. The match is, of course, fantastic because the two are
Oh
just athletic
my
freaks.
God. It's
It's
crazy.
yeah, it's absolutely incredible. I have a note that says, "Oh, Suzuki did a somersault plancha off the during the match. It was in the early moments of the match too, and it was just
Mm-hmm.
like absolutely incredible."
Yep.
Brian Christopher, not impressed. Yeah, who cares?
Hate it. He
Yeah,
almost
yeah.
ruined this for me, but there's Taka and Suzuki are so talented. I was
Mm-hmm.
able to this is the first time it's ever happened where someone's being annoying on commentary and I was kind of able to remove myself from it
And
and
just
just watch
focus on
because
the
they were
match.
so good.
They're so good. They're so talented. Suzuki once again put Taka in a Boston Crab, which was just crazy because it's just the way that he's contorted just looks horrible.
Mm-mm.
Taka hits Suzuki with just like this crazy, it's almost like a Darby Allin coffin drop kind of move, it looked
Oh
like.
yeah.
Um so it was just he kind of like lands on his opponent like back first, which is crazy because we
He
know
almost went
Darby's
like
crazy. It's the whole like throwing your body without seeing your opponent thing is nuts. And then he follows that like coffin drop for lack of a better term as far as what he calls it with a springboard moonsault like and then you're just like it's incredible and it happened so quickly the cameraman like missed the moonsault he just
yeah.
tail end of it like
Mm-hmm.
so we love to see it. The back and forth between these two is incredible. What was not so incredible was Jerry being an absolute racist the entirety of the match. I'm not even going to repeat the things that he said because it's not worth putting it out into the world once again.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that they allow this man to just like absolutely degrade these competitors based solely on nothing other than race is crazy.
Crazy.
Is crazy that they
Yeah.
just let him do it and then he just keeps doing it regardless. He
Mm-hmm.
did it all night long.
All
And I'm
night.
like, I'm sorry, but like if you are on actively on commentary having to tell somebody to stop using slurs then maybe take them off of commentary. Like if
Swear.
you can't control yourself long enough to not say slurs on national television, maybe you shouldn't be allowed to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
It's no, it's so true. And I know this was 1997. It
I
still was
know.
inappropriate then because here's what gagged me is that when Stone Cold interrupted the Canadian national anthem,
Mm-hmm.
Vince issued a public on behalf of the WWE. We are so sorry. We do not condone interrupting somebody's blah blah blah. Like this legit. And he brought it up again. He goes, and we did immediately release a public apology for the interruption of the Canadian national. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Like,
Right.
but then Jerry's dropping slurs all night long, and they're just like, "Oh, Jerry,
Right.
he, you
I'm
better
tired.
settle your kettle, buddy." Like,
I'm tired of
what?
treating this like you're just like 80-year-old grandpa. Oh, he's just no, no. You stop that right now. I don't care. I don't care how old he is, what year we're in. Like there's context and then there's just blatant racism. Like
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
there is like you know what I mean? There are certain things we have to just at this point let slide because it happened so long ago and like there's nothing
Yeah.
we can but like there is this this wasn't acceptable then. This wasn't like a thing you should be doing on national television then or now. Like I don't know
Exactly.
why it was allowed to occur. But like it's crazy to me. And it is only ever about like people who are not from America. Like,
Yeah.
and that is it. And I'm just like, okay, like great. What a just a deep just understanding of all of these people you have, Jerry. What a great like this is what you bring to the table. Awesome.
And again, we've said it before, it's just low-hanging fruit. It's actually not people who need to reach for that kind of stuff for quote unquote comedy. Like you're actually sorry, you're not funny.
Right.
It's like if that's what you need to like make the joke, then you don't have a joke and it's not funny and maybe you should give it up. Like I
Right.
don't know. Like I just there's
Mm.
it's just like yeah.
Yeah, and it's just like it's annoying because we have to do it like a 10-minute diatribe on why this man is like terrible instead of actually talking about the athletes that should be featured.
Yeah.
But
Absolutely.
so the match continues. It ends essentially in the same with the same move that ends the pay-per-view match, which is that like thunder like power bomb thing with his arms
Mhm.
behind his back, drops him on his head, and Suzuki is the winner. Yeah, I am very excited to see more of them in the light heavyweight division. I'm excited to see the light heavyweight division kind of just get
Morph.
more, just kind of get fully
Yes.
formed.
Because
Right
right
now
now I think
where
people are
they're
like,
kind of
huh.
like trickling in, you know,
Yeah.
like,
Mhm.
and what we have is like it's like these two and like Brian Christopher right now, really,
Yeah. Mhm.
and
Mhm.
I need more. If we're
Yeah.
gonna call it a
Mhm.
division, I need more. Um,
Absolutely.
yeah. Um, So that brings us into what is going to be our next match, which is Savio Vega versus Crush. But first, we have to do once again the Nation breaks down breakdown. Like
Oh
we
my
had like
god.
I I'm with it. I get it. Like having to keep people up who didn't watch every week, but I do watch every week.
Right. Like there has to
Like,
be some sort of a bridge version. It's like
mm.
these people used to get along, now they hate each other.
They do that
And
actually
now they're gonna
now.
fight.
They on like on the pay-per-views now, they only go into like the crazy backstory. Now it's like kind of like a rip-off thing. Like if you have like Peacock Premium, blah 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 blah, then they'll tell you the backstory like before the pay-per-view
Oh,
match.
fascinating.
Whereas, well, this is like they'll still do the recaps on like television and stuff. But yeah, I don't know. I didn't need the 10-minute of it all, you
Well, I
know?
think they just go too far back. They're like talking
Right.
about like the formation of the nation and I'm like, no, we just need the breakup part.
Yeah, we just need the part where they got kicked out because that's the only part pertinent to them being separate entities.
And
Because
honestly, you don't even need that. You could just go to the part where they like suddenly there's three separate gangs that don't like each other.
right,
Easy enough to understand.
right.
Easy enough
Mm-hmm.
to get there.
Yeah. So, yeah. So, oh, it gets bad. So, Savio Vega, we saw the new group, Los Boricuas. They're chilling. They had their all white ensemble last week. They added fedoras.
No.
It's all I had. They
No.
added fedoras and gold
I
chains.
I wish they
Um,
hadn't.
we all wish they hadn't. So because there's nothing that like is
Mm.
gonna take there's nothing gonna make an individual look less tough than like a fedora. Is something gonna make
Yeah.
a group of individuals look way less tough than fedoras.
5 fedoras.
Like that's crazy.
Then several fedoras.
Like
Ugh.
I was like, I don't know why
No.
you thought like this was gonna be like, ah, yes, we look so odd. No, fam.
No.
No.
And it was funny because they showed them in the promo picture wearing fedoras, and I go, God, no, please. Please let this just be a poor
Right.
photo, something. And then when they came out, I was like, no.
No.
Oh my God.
No, it's real.
Why would they do
No, it's
this?
real. I literally I never wanted to channel that little kid from School of Rock more. Where he's like, you're tacky and I hate
And
you.
I hate
Like
you.
I was like,
Oh,
this is my Puerto Rican representation.
swear to God. They did
This
so dirty.
so
So
crazy.
dirty.
So crazy.
disturbed. And
Although they
I
got the nails
really,
on the names on point. Jesus, Miguel, and Jose, literally all relatives of mine. So
you said that's the family reunion.
no, fully. I
That's the
have
group
uncles.
chat.
I have three. My grandfather's name is Jose. His brother's name is Miguel, and his other brother is named Jesus. I'm done. Like I can't.
That's it. That's all you need.
I will say they really nailed it with that one.
That's that, and just remove the fedora, please. I really hope
Crazy.
those don't last.
Hmm.
Hate it. Hate to see it.
Yeah, I hope those fall by the wayside because
They have
they
to.
have no they have no purpose in society, let
Let
alone
alone in the mat. Yeah.
right.
Amen. And you want to know something? They never have. They
Never
never
have.
have.
I'll
And
say it
so
right now.
I'm sorry, again, PSA, if you're out here rocking the fedora and you think you're eating it up,
Hmm.
sweetie,
No.
the only thing that's being eaten up is you.
Right.
You
We'll
are
make
being
sure of it.
eaten, and I will be there to see it. No, I'm just kidding.
So
But
crazy.
they were never it, and they never will
Mhm.
be, and that's
Yeah.
that.
So we have the disciples of the what is it? Apocalypse? Is that what it is?
The Doloreses of Anaheim.
Right. Whatever. Um yeah, they come out there in the squad, they roll. I they have on commentary, they're just like they look like they could run over somebody, and then they look like they wouldn't regret it. And you're just like,
Yeah,
yeah.
thanks, Vince, for this after school special.
No, fully. Um, Vega attacks Crush in the corner, kind of start off the match. And then it's just chaotic. It seems like it's going to be like you know, there's too many people on the outside for it not to be chaotic, but you think
Right.
like, we're gonna have an actual match for a little bit. And they do, a little bit.
Yeah, they do.
But it doesn't take long before all of the gangs are fighting, and then
Yes.
they end up in a they get counted out, disqualified. Who actually knows what the actual cause at the end of
Yeah.
this match was? Um, all I know is that Jesus got dropped on a Harley by the two bald ones. Um, I don't know their names. They
No,
have
there's two ones with long hair, and then there's two bald ones, and
Yeah,
that's
they
how
haven't
we will
given us their
distinguish them
names.
thus far. Yeah,
Oh,
and it's gonna be like, I don't know, like
I mean, if Crush is the
steel.
leader, then yeah,
It's gonna
like
be Crush, like
slam,
steel,
bam.
yeah,
Like,
fang, like
right. So
leather.
they have yet to inform us as to who these people are. But they drop Jesus on the Harley, and I think he gets like legitimately injured because like he like really hits the deck and like does not move the
Yeah,
rest of the
yeah,
time.
yeah, yeah.
And then I love my favorite thing at the end is when the DOA gets in the ring, like at the end of the skirmish, like they like won something. Like they did something. And I was
So
like,
annoying.
not really. I mean, other than the one guy like that got hit on the motorcycle, like everybody else was left standing. Like you all were just kind of separated. So I don't know why you're running in the ring like celebrating like you did something. It
It's
was
weird. And what's weird is that the crowd just like loves them. We've
yeah,
seen them
very
one
weird.
or two
Very
times,
weird.
and
Very,
I was like,
very weird.
the all white biker gang.
We love
Mm,
them. Like,
getting over.
on
Mm,
Savi, you're crazy.
you're cra
There's
You are
no way that
crazy.
Crush is more likable than Savi. Like, it's just not true.
I know who I'm inviting.
Ooh.
I over to the house.
Absolutely.
Uh,
It's just, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I see you.
I literally was like, we were watching, and I was like, hmm.
Noted.
Mm-hmm.
um,
Mm.
Speaking of weird and scary, that brings us to
Jump scare.
Paul Bear. So Paul Bear's got more deets for us. Well, not so much
Not
more
really.
deets, just kind of he's asked to like expand, I guess. Vince essentially is like, "Would you like to apologize for what you said?" And he's like, "Me apologize?" He's
For
like,
accusing someone of triple homicide?
He's like, "I didn't do the
Narc.
killing."
Which
Literally,
is
quote and quote, "I didn't do the killing."
I will say Vince McMahon being like, would you like to apologize for coming for The Undertaker is so me. Like,
Right. No,
would you
no.
like to apologize for the fact that you brought up The Undertaker's business when he said he didn't want that brought up? Because that was really rude.
Yeah, you might want to consider something about that.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
so gross.
And then he's asked about like the Undertaker's brother Kane and like why should we believe him? And he's like, why? And it feels like he wasn't really ready for that.
He's
Because he
like,
just goes, because Kane told me. And you're like, okay.
I was like, so
We
Kane
should
told you
believe you
Kane
that
was
Kane is
alive.
alive because Kane told you. Got it. That makes it
Right, yeah.
makes him sound really imaginary. Just saying, like,
That's kind of like the number one thing you would say if you were lying.
right,
Why?
100%.
Because I said,
Duh.
duh,
And you're like,
stupid.
okay.
Oh
And then he goes
God.
into kind of like describe Kane, and he talks about how he's been disfigured from the fire, from the skin grafts, and he can't go out into the sunlight because of all the scars. Um, and that Kane dreams of one day coming face to face with the Undertaker. And then Paul Bearer goes to like explain that the only thing that was sustaining Kane was just the like brute force of hatred. And you're just
The
like, okay.
unadulterated hatred kept him alive.
No, 100%. And
And
honestly,
same.
love that.
Here for that.
No, 100%. Like I love that plot point. Like
Respectfully, me
100%.
too.
No, listen. If revenge bods are a thing, then Kane's rage is real.
And
So
amen and period.
yeah.
Thank you.
And then the Paul Bearer promo ends, of course, with just a "You're a murderer" chant. So like
As he does. I want to say that, and I know they're gonna drag this out as long as possible. I just feel like there was very minimal fallout to this gigantic reveal. Like
there's
I was just thinking about this where it was like Undertaker is slapping Paul in the face, and you're like, tell him the truth, and you're like, it is the truth, Kane's alive, blah. Like, and it was this whole thing, and then they were just like, so anyway, super weird.
let me hold on. But one second.
He's doing research live on the air.
Yeah, so
Come
we
on.
we will meet Kane. It just is going to be a little bit.
Okay, like this year?
Yes. Yes, yes,
Okay,
yes,
because
yes,
I was
yes,
gonna
yes,
say if
yes.
I have to wait a whole
You will meet Kane before we find out what happens between Bret and Shawn, if that.
okay, okay. I will
Okay.
take it. I will
Okay.
take it. That could be the week before though, and it could be the same episode just
It's the month before.
preceding.
Let's
It's the
put that.
okay, 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 okay. That's okay. That's still a long time. That's a long
It
time.
is a long time.
How did you guys do this?
A week over week? I don't know.
Because like we do that too. Like we wait to watch a week, but or wait a week to watch. But
I have all like this information is readily available like to me.
yeah, not
Whereas
to me. I really try not to do spoilers. I really, really
I know,
try. But
and I really appreciate that.
because I want to feel it. I want to feel the feelings, and it's
Hmm.
so fun when you do.
Hmm.
It's
Hmm.
hard to do because some things are just spoiled. But like,
This story, don't worry, we got a while, we got a ways, and that's when we meet Kane. They be feuding all the way to WrestleMania, and then some.
okay, I'll be
It's worth
okay.
it though. It's a really good feud.
Okay, oh,
It
yeah.
their storyline essentially lasts like 20 years because it's just one of those things you can like pick up and drop. Like,
It's so true. A
mm,
sibling, I mean, oh,
mm-hmm. Yeah.
you can always pick up
They've
and
been
drop that
opponents,
bitch.
they've been teams, they've done it all, and I
The
love
way
it.
my sisters are my biggest confidants and my biggest freaking ops, I swear to God.
No, same. Like, I get it. All right. So next we have the tag team tournament finals between the Nation of Domination and the Hart Foundation. So the Nation of Domination team is Farouk and D'Lo Brown
Love to
taking
see
on
D'Lo.
the Hart Foundation, the classic combo of Owen Hart and the British Bulldog. So the winner of this match will take on Stone Cold Steve Austin and a partner of his or the WWF's choosing, because
So
Austin doesn't
funny.
want a partner. Um, this so funny. So before the match begins, we are taken to who is described as an interested party. And then they cut to Stone Cold Steve Austin with possibly the most blasé face I've ever seen on a
Just
human ever. Like, I could not have looked less interested in anything that was
could not
going
give less of a shit about the current proceedings.
no,
Really could not.
fully. And then he's asked about like who he wants his partner to be. He's like, I don't care who my partner is. I don't care who my opponent is. And then he's asked about Mankind, and Vince is essentially like, oh, like Mankind like deserves to be your partner. He's like, he deserves to get his ass kicked. He's a freak and he sucks. And he's just like, I don't care. Like, I do not
So
care.
funny.
Love to see it. And oh, did you see Brian Pillman lift up the Nation of Masturbation sign in the middle of the ring?
No.
Yeah, he did that before they cut to the Stone Cold interview. That was fun.
Obsessed.
Yeah, I was like, all
Honestly, love
right, go
that.
off. Um,
Use the test to take the test.
no, 100%. That's what I'm saying. They provide the sign. Why not? Like,
I'm
honestly,
telling you.
Pillman, good on you. That was funny.
Yeah, I love that. There was also a sign I just have to point out that just said cheese blend.
Cheese blend. Like, what does
Cheese
that
blend.
mean? I
Me,
love
but me too. I love a Mexican cheese. A little three, the
oh, the
three,
four cheese.
the four cheese Mexican cheese blend. Oh, okay. And now we're talking.
Now we're talking. I know
I love a
exactly which one
cheese
you're
blend. And it
talking
was
about.
ambiguous. They didn't just specify which one, how many. They just said cheese
Right.
blend.
Cheese blend.
Love.
We love a wild sign. Um, so this match was, I thought, great. It was very back and forth. The Bulldog and Farouk had their little power exchange.
Mm-hmm.
D'Lo and Owen also have very similar like kind of movesets. Not gonna lie, they both do that the spinning heel kick. Yeah, love to see it. Once again, Jerry was a flaming racist during this. Hate to see it. Hate to see it. Actually, I don't know. I don't do I want to go into this or do I want to just move on? Because it's terrible. It
It
is
is terrible. And it's not anything new and it's horrible. And like as a white person, I don't feel like I have to keep telling people about racism. Like, you know what I
right,
mean? Like, you all know. Like, and you've been experiencing it. And like but it's just like it never fails to make me want to barf in my own mouth.
right.
So it was
Um,
horrible.
yeah, let's yeah.
It
So
was horrible.
Jerry leaned into the racism on commentary once again. I do love that JR kind of like puts him in his place a little bit, but the fact that
He
he had
does.
had to do it was annoying. Like,
Right. This was my issue is that you have to that is the issue in and of itself is like we have to like come up with like certain things to like validate another person's
existence.
existence. And it's
Right.
just like that's also a problem.
Right.
That's also a problem.
Right,
But
right, right, right.
whatever, it's fine.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
we
not, but
yeah.
yeah.
But Jerry was a heinous beast this week. Moving on.
Mhm.
Shawn Michaels returns next week. It is announced.
Thank
So
God.
apparently things have been settled down a little bit, and he's willing to come back to work. Don't know what the particulars are around that after the Bret Hart fight, but happy to see Shawn back. Love to see it.
I am so curious. Now that Brittany said this, my mind is reeling.
Mm,
I can't wait to see the hat.
I know there's so I like there's so much between the Shawn and Brett thing that like I'm just like like especially like this year that it's just like it gets a lot. So I don't want to like give you too much and then send you spiraling and then you go look for something and then it's all ruined. So
Well, I know, and I think that's why I didn't look anything up because I knew because there's certain things
yeah, 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 yeah.
but because I looked up the sunny day comment because I was like, well,
Hmm.
I have to look that up. But certain
The
things I was like,
fight,
I
yeah.
know they'll lead me places I don't yet want to travel. So,
Yes. So Shawn's coming back next week. Love to see it. The Nation is really getting the better of the Bulldog in this match. I thought this was pretty interesting in that technically these are two heel teams. Um,
oh,
technically,
very true.
they both like break the rules. They both like use the ref. But in this scenario where they are, the Hart Foundation acted as a face team, like the
Because
good
they're in
guys. because they're in Canada.
In
Like they weren't
Canada.
overtly cheating. They were getting like taken advantage of like more by the nation than they were taking advantage of the
Mm.
nation. It was just kind of interesting that like technically they're both heels, but
No,
in
that's
this
a very good
scenario they
point.
had to work as a face.
I love that. That's such a good point.
Mhm.
Circumstance, what is it in real estate where it's like, not the neighborhood is everything. Location, location, location.
That's
That's what
the
it is.
one. Location, location,
Location,
location.
location.
Um, so love to see it. The match continues. Owen eventually gets a hot tag after the Bulldog has like been in the ring for like forever. He gets a back body drop on Farouk. Farouk tags out to D'Lo. Owen gets the tag. He's wiling at first, spinning heel kicks for everybody. And then Mustafa like pulls the top rope down so that Owen falls out onto the floor, body slams him on the floor. Why? Where's the ref? Um,
Uh,
where's the ref? Um,
yeah.
Crazy. And then Pillman comes over and starts beating Kama Mustafa with a like I think it's the Bulldogs flag with the Union Jack. Just starts beating
Yes.
him with it.
Yes, which is funny,
Yeah,
honestly.
absolutely crazy. So then chaos ensues between the two factions, obviously. The referee starts counting, and all while they're all like in this like cartoon like dust bubble of fighting, somehow Owen like escapes and gets back in the ring before the referee can get to the 10 count, and that's how they win the match.
Which is crazy. And I
Hmm.
had asked Xavier because I was like, okay, so obviously there was plenty of interfering. Like, why did no one just get like
Right.
called because it was interference? He's like, I think because it was a
A
what
number
did you
one
call a
contender.
number one contendership match. And I was like, oh, in case
Yeah.
you're also new to wrestling and wanted to know that, because I was like, okay,
Yeah.
somebody
So I
has
mean,
to
all
win,
of those things are
essentially.
technically up to like the referee's like discretion.
Right.
Um, so it will be like talked about more, kind of like whatever. Like the referees will sometimes like just let things happen if they know it is like an important match. Like if it's a like a world title or like a number one
Right,
contender kind
right,
of, and
right,
then where they're
right.
like, just fight, just fight.
Just fine.
And
Just
we'll
fine.
deal with the little whatever later.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so Owen gets back in the ring. The Hart Foundation is the number one contenders. Mankind comes out and starts. He's in the 316 shirt, of course, and he starts to start getting in their face, talking about how like it's gonna be me and Steve versus you guys like next week, and then they hit him with a chair. It's a mess. Like, and then yeah, poor Mankind.
Yeah, he's wearing his little shirt. It's so cute. He gets out there and he's just like, "We're gonna beat you up." Ugh. Like
Hmm.
I love it. And he's just
I love it.
he
Love to
really's
see
grown
it.
on me. He really
Hmm.
has. The mandible claw still makes me gag, but that's okay. It's what it's supposed to do.
Right. So then we cut back to Stone Cold, who's just chilling in the same spot that we left him. And Vince today was getting real, like, oh, he was over it. Vince was
Oh
over
my,
everybody.
Vince
He was
was
getting,
over the girls today.
yeah, he was over Jerry being heinous. He was over Stone Cold being rude. Because like at the end of the last segment, he's like, he cuts off Stone Cold. He's like, you're just too much. Like you're just
You're
doing too
being too much and we're gonna cut you off. Like he
Yeah.
yelled. We were like, oh,
Okay.
like as if Stone Cold doesn't do that every
Every
interview.
week. Right. It's
Every
fine.
time. I
And
guess.
then so we cut back to Stone Cold and he's asked about his match tonight, which is versus Hunter Hearst Helmsley. And he's like, oh, like the King of the Ring winner, like blah blah. The 1997 King of the Ring winner. He's like, been there, done that. He was like, I
Which
love
is
it.
so funny.
And then he's like, oh, and like Hunter's always talking about like um eating caviar. He's like, how about I open up a like a can of whoop ass and see how he likes how that tastes. And you're like, ooh.
So
And then
good.
he's asked about China and he's like, I'm not a he's like, I'm not above laying hands on anybody. Like
Equal opportunity
and I love that.
fisticuffs.
I thought that was just like one of the best like short sweet like just 1-2 punch. Love to see
Love
it.
it. Literally.
He's like been he discredits him, been there, done that. He discredits him part two. He's like,
Yep.
you can keep your caviar. And he's like,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll punch your little girlfriend too. And you're like,
Hit him
oh,
with the ba ba ba.
that's what I'm
And
saying.
that's it.
Love to see it. So that leads us into this next match. Is Hunter Hearst Helmsley with China taking on Stone Cold Steve Austin. We love to see it. Stone Cold is kind of just an ass the entire match. He's like he
The
does like the Triple H bow to him, and
so
then he's
good.
all over him. He's
They
just
were I love
all
them
over him.
together
Yeah,
though.
they're great. They have
I love them
amazing
together.
chemistry, and a couple years down the line, they will have some incredible matches.
Oh, yay. Yeah.
So we love to see it. We love to see it. We love to see it. Hunter gets thrown over the corner, like over the top rope in the corner, almost takes out the cameraman in the process. Love to
Crazy.
see it.
So good.
Yeah, I just love that kind of like shot where you're just like, oh, like,
Yep.
yeah.
It was like,
Yeah, we love to see it. China, like for most of the match, was not super involved, which they make note of on commentary. And of course, like almost immediately is when she goes over, grabs a steel chair, just kind of like places it on the ring and just walks to the adjacent side of the ring.
she's like, just
And
in
then she
case.
goes and like gets the referee's attention. She starts getting in his face. Triple H goes and like grabs the chair. Mankind comes out to make the save. Love to see it. Um, Still rocking his 316 shirt, just pick me energy to the nines. And he comes up, jumps on the apron, and gets walloped in the head for his trouble. And like the way, I swear to God, they love hitting this man in the head with a
They
chair.
love it.
They
You're
love
so
it.
right.
There is I they don't hit anybody as hard as they hit Mick Foley in the head. I
Nope.
swear to God.
Nope.
Like no, yeah, because it sounds bad. Like it
Because there are,
sounds bad.
yes, there are some chair shots, and any chair shot you take, I don't care how light it is, you have my respect,
Right,
regardless. But there are some you can tell are lighter than others.
right,
And there it's like it's on the head, quote unquote, but it's actually like their back. Like you can just see it.
right.
But Mankind, they, like you say, swing for the fences and hit him directly on the cranium every
Right.
time.
100%.
It's
Just
wild.
unprotected chair shots. Just
Just to the dome ski.
love
And
to
he's
see it.
still among us. Crazy.
Yeah.
I'm
And
grateful.
and cognitively like
Normal, like for all
not
intents and
only like
purposes.
normal, just do well. He's an author. Like
He's well.
like
It's
insane.
crazy. He was touched by God, if I were to believe in such a thing.
Honestly. And again, I think it's because if you stay unproblematic, like I really do think like
The evidence
it
just keeps
comes up,
piling up.
it just comes back at the end, you know? Like
Yeah, it's just to the
right.
so
So we love to see it.
yeah.
So Mankind's of course just dying on the floor in the of the arena. So Triple H turns around from the chair shot, immediately walks into a stunner, and Stone Cold picks up the victory from there. Stone Cold picks up the microphone, walks over to the corner where Mankind, he's like, get your ass up. He's like, there is no way one chair shot did that to you. He's like, get up.
And
He's
I
like, I know
love
what
that
kind of
he said
zombie
that.
you are. Get in here.
And I love that he said that because you need to point that out. Like,
Right.
I know one chair shot didn't rattle your cage. Get on up here.
Yeah, like stop playing boo boo the fool. We all
yes.
know you're faking. It's
I
fine.
swear.
He's like, and so then Steve surprises us. He's like, I don't like you one bit, but I'll go to war with you if that's what you want. All you got to do is shake my hand. And then Mankind like is like on the ground. He gets up and like goes for like a hug. And you're like, what is this? And then the most like shocking thing ever, Steve goes in and like completes the hug. He like
They hugged.
they embraced.
And it was like a hug.
Yeah, it was like a
There was the
minute.
man patting
Yeah.
and there was length. It was a hug.
Yeah.
It was a real hug.
But we know Stone Cold, and he immediately follows up that kind gesture with the Stone Cold Stunner,
I knew
and
it
he
was
goes
coming.
to immediately rub it in his face. He's like, "Don't trust anybody." He's like,
Which
"I
is so
don't."
funny.
He's like, "I will never be your partner, you freak." Like, love to see it.
He literally goes, lesson number 1, don't
Right.
trust anybody, and that's why you can't be my partner. He literally, like, Mankind is dying on the floor, and he gets down on his level and is like, listen up, freak.
Right.
This is why you can't be, don't ever trust anybody.
Right.
And
Love,
honestly, so funny.
no,
Like
love that.
it was amazing.
Love that. So Stone Cold starts making his way out of the arena. Mankind grabs the mic and he just starts like yelling after Steve. And we're like, uh-oh. And he's like, all I was looking for was like a little respect. I was looking for a friend. And he's like, you ruined everything.
Mm.
And then he starts taking these into like he starts like picking it up and he's like drastic measures will be taken. He's like the WWF will never be the same again. He's like Steve will never be the same. He's like mankind will never be the same again, which I love that because it's a double entendre. It's mankind him and mankind the world. Love it. I love it.
Oh my God. I didn't
Hmm.
even notice that.
Yeah, we love to see what a great way to end
Xavier.
it. Like that's how he ends the
Work.
promo with a double entendre. That man's so smart.
I love him so much. Thank God you said that.
Right. Isn't he amazing? I love him.
Wait, that's so amazing. Love.
Hmm.
Okay, I'm really excited about this because if there's one thing I love more than mankind pining for somebody, it's mankind gunning for somebody.
Hmm.
Girl,
I know. I
because
can't
he's
wait.
coming at you like a rabid dog. And I
No
live for that
stop.
because what does that mean? Because again, it's like you just don't know what he's going to do. Like
Right.
I know Hunter Hearst Helmsley's gonna cheat, and I know Stone Cold is gonna be a rattlesnake, but like what is mankind going to do?
Hmm.
You just do not know.
I know. I
And I
know.
live for that.
Hmm.
Oh my
I
God,
love the
mankind will never
unpredictability
be
of this
this.
man. And I love it. I love it because it is such a so true to his character. Where he's like
Yes.
where you would believe that like this deranged man would like try and make a friend one time and like the one time he does it this happens and then he's like, "Oh, okay. Never again."
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
You should have accepted me as a friend because if you don't want me a friend, you
Right.
definitely don't want me as an enemy. And let's be really
Correct.
clear on that.
Low. And I love it. And I love that
Like
because
this is mankind who popped out of the ring to
mhm.
suck Undertaker into the void.
Right.
You do not know who
Right.
you are messing with. Boiler room brawl,
Yeah,
mama.
dude.
You
Yeah.
are playing with fire,
I love
and
it.
I
I can't
want
wait.
to watch.
I know. I can't wait. So that brings us into our next match, which is a light heavyweight match between Brian Christopher and Eric Shelley. Eric Shelley is essentially your homegrown local. He's like the local talent that usually gets put in squash matches at home shows
Mm.
and things of that nature.
Hmm.
So Sunny is our special guest ring announcer because she's got to get that check. She looks good. I mean, good for
She
her.
does. She's in a little Xenon girl of the
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
21st
I have
century
a note
dress.
following that just says hyena, which I'm certain is about
Y-
Brian Christopher.
and you are absolutely correct because we were all thinking it, and you were the brave
The
person who
way
decided to
this
say it.
man,
Hate it. Disgusting.
I would like the
Do it.
world
Mm-hmm.
to take aim at this man's laugh the way Republicans take aim at Kamala's. Let's talk about it. Because this man in 1997 was on national television just like hooting and hollering. Any chances he doesn't even need the mic. He doesn't even need it. You can hear it like a shitty whistle over the crowd. Just it is piercing. It is horrible. It is incessant. And I don't want it. I don't want it anymore.
Please take it. Again, kill it with fire.
Kill it with
I
fire.
anytime he makes that noise, I'm like, you like I
Right.
just there's something so
Mm-hmm.
it just makes it curdles my blood.
Right.
I hate it
Right.
deeply. How
And
is that too sexy?
right.
The character is all over the place, first of all, because
Right.
how what does that have to do with too sexy? Like I'm thinking of Mr. Perfect. Like at least he had his
Right.
character honed in a way where it's like
Right.
perfect is kind of an overstatement, but like
Right. Right.
he
Right.
can play every but too sexy? There should be
Need more.
a
Uh
hairdo,
something.
something, and
Something.
not the
Not
creepy
just
evil
you
demon
can't just put
laugh.
on cheetah print and just be like, actually, note for everybody. You can't just put on cheetah print and just be like, I'm sexy now. It's not how
And
that works.
amen.
Like,
Thank you so much for saying what needs to be said. You are so brave for that.
thank you. So it is not alluded to, it is announced that because of their actions a couple weeks ago, Ivan Putski, Hall of Famer, is going to come out of retirement to team with his son Scott Putski, so to take on Jerry and his illegitimate son or unclaimed son, Brian Christopher.
Like he's airport baggage, like unclaimed.
The way Jerry just like won't claim him is so funny to
Is
me.
wild because
It's
you
so
know what
funny.
he is, Jerry. And this is how evil begets evil. And
It's
you have
just
to
so
stare
funny.
into that mirror.
And I just don't understand why Jerry's like denying it so hard, but they just keep like putting them on camera together. And it's just like, stop. Like,
If you
stop.
want to like push aside the rumors, maybe stop being together all the time.
Right. With your same face and your same blockhead and your same body. Like,
And your same
like,
opinions and your same nasty. Your
right.
same nasty.
No, like I'm good. I'm good. I love it. I hope that they get their butts kicked.
I
I'm
would
just
love to see Ivan.
I just like I don't know. I hate this like not my son, whatever this is. Like I just
this
thought
boy
like
has
it's
issues.
boring. Boring.
It is boring. Like this is the storyline we're going with for the light heavyweight
No,
division.
what you have Rob Van Dam. Bring
Hello.
him in.
Is anyone out there? Rob is.
Right.
Call him up.
That's what I'm saying.
Call him up. Rob.
Uh so next we're given another interview with Stone Cold, which is crazy.
They
Um
really were like, hey.
yeah, like he was earning his check
I
tonight.
was gonna say.
Yeah. So he's essentially asked about his actions after while getting arrested, and how he was flipping off like everybody, the Canadian crowd, whatever. And he's like, "You can shut me up, but you can't shut up these fingers." I was just
Amazing.
like,
And
I was like,
that's the comeback. That's a good
right.
one.
I love to see it. And then Vince once again asks him who he's gonna pick for his partner. He's like, you just keep asking and asking like a jackass. I keep telling you I don't care. It's like I don't know how many ways I can spin like I don't care. And then and I understand Gorilla Monsoon is gonna exercise his right to choose my partner. And he's like, and that's well and good because Gorilla Monsoon hasn't exercised that body of his in 30 years. And you were just like,
Decapitation.
no,
Like
100%.
fatality. Like
Like I was
so
like, oh, damn, damn,
that
damn, damn.
woo! I
Uh,
said, my God, somebody check check on Gorilla Monsoon. He's not okay.
no,
Someone do a safety
he's
check on
bleeding out
Gorilla
somewhere.
Monsoon.
And so then he goes on to comment on how Bret Hart said that if he doesn't win the WWF title, he's gonna not wrestle on American soil. He's like, buff that. He's like, if I don't win the Intercontinental Champion, you could just tell Owen to just bend over, pull down his trunks, pull down those little panties of his, and
He
I'll kiss
literally
his ass. He's like, if I can't kick his ass, I'll kiss it. And you're just like, you are so outrageous. You are so crazy. Like,
oh my God. First of all, Owen's little panties took me out. That is
right.
so funny. Like he can pull down those little panties of his. Sick.
So
And
funny.
and then
So
if I
funny.
can't kick his ass, I'll kiss it. Is I want to put
Hilarious.
that on a bumper sticker.
No,
That is
fully.
so
I want that
funny.
on a t-shirt. Like,
He was
uh,
like, it's a whole other twist on if you can't beat him, join him. If you
no,
can't kick him,
fully.
kiss him.
Right. Love to see it. Love
I
to see it.
love it. He
I
was
thought that was so funny. He was on fire today.
on fire today. He was so funny. He was like, he didn't drag on, he didn't linger. He just was,
No, he
my
was on it.
God,
He had the
loved.
zingers. He had them locked.
He had wordplay. He
And he
had
no,
timing.
it was great. It was amazing.
Amazing.
So that takes us into our final match, which is Goldust taking on Bret Hart. We haven't seen Bret Hart wrestle like a one-on-one match in a hot minute,
Yeah, we
because
barely
of
did today.
injuries. Yeah,
Well,
I
that's
know.
not true, but
Well, we did, but we didn't. So we get a little brief promo from Goldust backstage. He's essentially just like, this is going to be the final curtain call for, you know, you, Bret Hart, like in front of your hometown crowd. Like, I'm going to embarrass you. That's the gist. And
Yeah.
we're like, all right. I thought the match was great. Uh,
Yeah.
it was a very back and forth. They're both very technically sound. They're both second generation superstars, so they're people who have grown up in the business.
Yes.
So they're both just very in tune with what they do. They both
Yeah.
know their characters really well. They know how to do it, and they know how to implement it in a ring and make it make sense.
Mhm.
So this one, what didn't make sense was the just absolute brigade of wrestlers that wanted a closer look at this match, I guess. Because first,
So weird.
the disciples of the apocalypse come down on their bikes. First of all, like, is that your only mode of transportation?
Was just about to say this because
like,
what do
like,
your legs not work?
that's what
We
I'm
have to do the
saying.
bikes every time. When you
Every
first
time,
did it, cool. I'm here. I'm
right?
with it. Every time is crazy.
And if it was like
My
one
eye
of
just
them,
twitched.
sure. But all four of you coming out and like trying to coordinate this, like, no,
This
like,
ring around the ring.
right. No, like I'm good. Because it
I
takes too long, it's awkward and it's weird. And I love it because they kept like getting this one shot of like one of the bald ones, and it literally looked like just the angle he was at and like the way he was looking like off into it looked like one of those like Save the Bald Eagle commercials where you're like where you're just like where he's just like, look at that majestic bird. And you're like, and it's just
it's
this
like,
like 7 foot tall biker dude just looking off into the distance, like he's just like,
oh.
ah, yes, the Grand Canyon. like, like, no, baby, that's just a cue ball. Move it off my screen, please. Like, what was that? Because they kept going back to the shot. I'm like, stop it. Stop it.
Oh my god. I did not expect bald eagle concert.
No, literally, WWE said bald eagle conservation.
It was like,
Uh, right? You could have like put it on a coin and it would have printed nicely.
and it would be a collectible, and that's
Right.
that.
Uh
Oh my god.
yeah, so after the disciples of the apocalypse give us their PSA, I guess, the Hearts come down and are just kind of standing guard, brooding.
Yeah, because the motorcycles like spread out, and
Yeah,
then they
they're
just
they're
sit
like
there.
around the ring, around 3/4 of the ring.
Yeah, and then
And
they
then
just sit
it's
there.
the Hurt Foundation. They come out and just like
Also
finish the
stand there.
wall.
Yep.
And then behind them, LOD and Ken Shamrock show up.
Yeah.
Um, and like Ken Shamrock like immediately like rips off his shirt, and
Ready for a fight.
it's just like, this isn't like 2 a.m. walking around New Brunswick after a party at Rutgers. Like, get a grip.
Yo, and
like get a
yes.
grip.
Oh,
Like
because like
you're not just like beefing with like, I don't know, general masculinity or whatever they do at those things. Like you're like, you know what I mean? Like, why is your shirt immediately off? And like, who, like, you are so far removed from the situation
yeah,
that like you just
you're
look
not the
absurd.
one.
Right.
And the thing is, it almost like, I don't want to say ruined the effect, but like because the DOA came out and they were kind of chill. They just
Yeah.
set up, they posted up. Heart Foundation came out kind of chill, just posted up.
Uh-huh.
Ken Shamrock came out like he was fired out of a gun. He was like,
Right.
ah, ah, ah,
Right.
ripped off
And
his
it's like,
shirt, and we were
like,
like,
no, your job is
whoa.
to stand on the ramp.
And next, and you're next to LOD. Like,
Right. In between the two,
let's have a
really.
little class
Right.
around.
And then after that, Stone Cold comes behind them at the top of the ramp. And you're just like, why are all these people out here?
Yeah, especially the Ducks on Acid, because why are whose side are you on?
Right.
Why are you here? Because I know why the Heart Foundation's here. Because
I get
and then the
that. That
Heart
that
Foundation
tracks.
came out, I guess, because they didn't know who the DOA was like gonna beef with, and then
Right.
like
And I
I
understand, I guess I understand like LOD and Ken,
And
you know,
Ken
the match
Shamrock
just happened. That
for
all makes sense.
Goldust. Yes.
Why are they here? Why
And
are the
then
Daughters of the American Revolution here? Like, I'm so confused.
why are they here? And then Stone Cold just loves a fight. So I
Yeah,
kind of get why he was there, but like they kept going, it's a powder keg about to blow. Everybody's gonna
right.
fight. Blah, 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 blah. And they're like,
And
okay,
then
so we'll
Bret
see you
wins
guys
the
next week.
match, and then nothing happens. And nothing happens.
No one interfered. When I tell you Bret and Goldust are fighting around the motorcycles.
Around the motorcycles, through the other people, we're just like,
And not even the Heart Foundation did a little like shut. And they normally, if someone falls out of the ring and you're fair game, I'm gonna kick you.
right.
I'm gonna shove you. They literally were like, not that,
Yeah.
that maybe like that, but you know, hands up. But nobody interfered with them at all. But there were 25 people present to watch. Like it
Right.
was like their VIP badges just came in, and
It,
they're like,
it
let's
was
go
just
to the
crazy.
ring.
But and then so they dragged all these people out here, and then the episode ends.
Just
The episode ends.
we'll
That's
see you
it.
next week.
We'll see you next week.
And we're
Everyone's
like,
just standing outside of the ring with their thumbs up their asses. Like, what are
"Woo!"
we doing? What are we doing?
Are you giving Bret a ride home on the bike?
No, honestly, very
Is that
confused.
they're like, we wanted to make sure he knew we didn't leave without him. We became. You wasted that gas to come down to the ring and park
Oh my
just for us to
God.
have to wrestle around you, and then nothing even happens. And
Right?
the
I
way
know I
they
would, if I was a wrestler in that match, I would have been pissed. I would have been pissed. You mean like now I gotta
pissed.
navigate these giant bikes with all these like dudes on it? No, I'm good.
Well, I'm fighting Goldust, and like so many
Who's
people are
also
watching.
not a small man to be navigating around motorcycles, by the way.
I'm saying, and also
Also,
like
like,
the way that the commentary team got me hyped, there JR literally like it's like walking with a lit cigar through a gunpowder factory or like
right.
something like that. Like
Yeah,
you
yeah,
just know
yeah.
it's gonna blow. And then Jerry's like, who's gonna be the spark to set it off? And when Stone Cold came out, I was like,
Him.
here's Mr. Spark himself. He
No,
loves to set it
100%.
off. Like
I was like,
I
set it off, loves it. Loves it.
loves it.
Say less.
Say less. It's Steve Stone Cold set it off Austin.
Right, 100%.
And then nothing happened. The blue balls. I'll say it.
Mm-hmm.
The blue balls.
They left us just high and dry.
Really whack.
Right.
And for what?
I don't know. All right, guys. So that has been this edition of the New to Wrestling podcast. Thank you, as always, wherever you catch us, listen, comment, subscribe. Love to see it. Stay tuned. This week we'll have an episode of After Dark. We are going to do a Hart versus Hart double feature. So we are going to watch their WrestleMania 10 match as well as their SummerSlam cage match from, I believe, 94. But
I'm so excited.
very, very exciting. Love to see it. We will have a kind of a more regular or a more consistent After Dark during the Vince McMahon documentaries. Gotta.
What would you have us do? The tea is piping.
Right, 100%. We will definitely be watching, definitely be talking about it. So stay tuned for that. And we are trucking through the Attitude Era, guys. Thank you for watching, and we'll catch you next time.
We'll see you there.
Bye.
Bye.